Hey everybody, good day and good energy to y'all. So I just want to talk about again how getting out into nature, detaching from these big cities, connecting with and cooperating with like-minded people who care about doing the right thing and love and these good things is our greatest weapon, is the greatest protection for our children, and also is going to be the best way, to get us, developing our own infrastructure so that we don't have to depend on this satanic society anymore. But I want to talk about the kids in general because there's been a lot of talk about all this child trafficking, and I hear a lot of people say that like they wish they could do something about it, or they try to like ask if the military can do something about it, and it's just like people don't realize how much power they have as men or even as females, as human beings, to help protect the children. And this is where we need to start taking back the power in our own hands. But that doesn't mean by demanding the government give us more rights and more blah 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 this. No, it means us literally just moving away from the government and building our own essential government and taking our children and all of things that are good for us with us and leaving all that's not good for us where it is. It's really that simple. I mean, when you think about it, when you take your children away from these cities and these schools and all these things, they're not going to be under the same type of spells. They're not going to be fed the same type of doctrine that's keeping them, sick and at a lower vibrational frequency. Hey, Foggy. Okay, what's up? Okay, I gotta close the door. Come on, bud. Okay. Oh, so anyway, sorry about that, but yeah, and then also in doing so, by moving out of these cities, one will be able, I mean, you can sell your house, you can sell a lot of possessions you don't need, you can sell, excessive vehicles. There's all sorts of stuff that we can get rid of and utilize to help us grow a new future. But it does take sacrifice, and it does take, getting rid of that which no longer serves you, and honoring that which, the body and, the good things around that are good for the body, that taking care of those things. That's really these type of simple practices are the way to, fight the enemy, protect the children, better ourselves, better the whole world, the whole nine yards. But people, one of the biggest problems I think is the ego, because people really gotta accept and acknowledge and embrace the fact that this society is evil, and it does take, I mean, the corporations have infiltrated on every single level, so it's all evil. It's all attached to the same fucking infected, fucking evil, fucking source, and the more attached you are to it, the more evil the attached you are, and the only way to really get away from it is to do just that, just get away from it and rebuild, regroup, replant. Now there are certain states that are going to be a little bit more that are already moving in the direction of moving away. So, I think states like Texas, and there's probably some other ones, are good, areas to think about going towards. But even there, the big cities, you're still going to have to be careful, because it's just, that's just the hub that they operate from. And I don't know much about the details and the politics and the people and just the overall vibe of Texas and the big cities in Texas. But from the people that I've seen speaking from there, and the feeling that I get from people around there, and some of the rural areas I'm thinking, and even some of those, semi-bigger cities, there seems to be more people there of a like mind, of people who want to be sustainable and take care of themselves and get away from the government and this and that. And even amongst that whole group, there's different tribes, because I'm about getting away from money altogether, because for me, money, love of money, is the root of all evil, and that is, the effect. We are seeing the effect of what happens when we fall in love with money here in America, especially. So. I'm not trying to repeat the past, and I want to learn from that which needs learning from. And in my opinion, that is mankind's obsession, or, tendency to be obsessed with materialistic objects and power, fame, reputation, all of these, more sinful or lower vibrational, more, earthly fleshy, worldly desires and delights instead of, higher vibrational, ideals and things like love and creativity and, sacrificing yourself and working on something that's good for humankind and everything all around at the same time, not just focusing on one, selfish, pursuit that's going to be good for just you and could in fact, and, a lot of the times does in fact end up hurting other people. That's what, capitalism is largely about, and that is what has happened all over the world to, one degree or another. So again, man, and there is a spiritual karmatic effect to us buying into all this money too, which is another reason why I think there is so much evil and child trafficking and sickness and all this corruption, because we've been continuing to buy into it. It's like, just because they don't exactly tell us that they are evil doesn't mean they're not evil. You got to look at the actions of a man, not at what he says. So if we look at the actions of these corporations and of these people, what do they tell you? They tell me that they're evil. So it's like, you got to stop. I mean, why are we buying into them? What does that say about us now that we know the truth? It's time we use what we have and fucking do good on it while we still have the time to do so. Because if, you guys haven't noticed, like, time is running out. Like, slowly but surely they're, reeling in this new world order, and our rights are becoming less and less every day, and there's less human interaction with people than there ever has been. There's more sick people, there's more, suicides, depressions, addictions. All these things are, going to, are skyrocketing because, that evilness is getting even closer and closer and closer to having its full force down upon, humanity in the cities, the major cities especially. That's why I'm getting out of the major cities. Again, is going to be your best security, and not your best security, but it's going to be good, and your relationship with the Most High is your best security. But by leaving these cities, by detaching from all this Babylonian BS, mentally, physically, and spiritually, you will be providing yourself with the best, best chance for success, as far as love is concerned, as far as you being a human being and having well-being and taking care of your offspring and giving them the best chance for a good life, and hopefully meeting up with other people that think of a similar way, and you guys can help create some type of a culture that's different from this, and are able to learn from the lessons which brought us to where we're at now. In my opinion, it has to do again with the money thing. So but yeah, I wanted to just, I'm going to continue talking about this because it bothers me when I hear, full-grown men essentially saying that, there's nothing that they can really do in terms of this child trafficking, because there is a lot we can do. A lot of it is just providing the sanctuary and the salvation to offer these children and these people, and also just the reverberation of that good energy and that love will itself repel a lot of these predators. And you can do more things too. I mean, once you get your surpluses trained up and stuff, you can literally have teams of men or women, and or whatever, trained up and ready to go out there and rescue children. But first we need to develop our own infrastructure that's completely intact and away from the corruption, because the corruption, those type of teams aren't going to be allowed in this type of corrupt system. Otherwise we would see them, but we don't see them because the system operates off of child trafficking, blood sacrifice, just all this sick shit. So anyways, all right, I love you. I hope you have a good day. Bye.